Have you been catching Shadow Latios, Latias, and other Shadow Legendaries in Pokemon Go? Come to find out that they may not be strong, that they cost a lot more Stardust to power up, and even more XL candy, which means you are paying to max a subpar Shadow Legendary in Pokemon Go? Well, wait for that, because I'm going to teach you the strategy to make sure to save your Super Rocket Radars in Pokemon Go for more effective Shadow Legendaries. Let's jump right in. Welcome back, my trainer club. Let me know in the comments below, guys, do you know how to save your Super Rocket Radars in Pokemon Go? Because there's been a lot of questions in my live stream about how do you save your Super Rocket Radar, what do you do with it, and then how many can you save? So I'm gonna take you guys back a little bit further, and I'm gonna drop a video out up here when there was Shadow Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos that were coming out, and I was making videos that says do not catch these Pokemon. But at that time, the Super Rocket Radars were not locked behind quest lines, and when you were going to fight it, you were able to get multiple of them. So that's how you have seen me and other people maybe have talked about having multiple Super Rocket Radars, meaning beyond just one stocked up in your bag. Because if we run into my bag right now, we can scroll down in our items and we can see that we have Super Rocket Radars. The one thing I am going to note here is that if you click on your Super Rocket Radar, you can then select equip or unequip. So there's two things that you can do with these before I get into the strategy. Number one is when you have it and you have it equipped, you can then fight all the decoys, which makes it easier to get the mysterious components. So that is one thing that's going to be to your advantage. However, the one thing that's going to be disadvantaged is that if you have this Super Rocket Radar out as an equipped and the balloon comes in, it's guaranteed to be Giovanni. So that's going to put a little bit of a damper on getting more grunts in there. So one thing you could do if you want to be really gung-ho about this as a next level strategy is you could have the Super Rocket Radar activated, and at the times of 6 a.m., noon, 6 p.m., and midnight, you go ahead and deactivate it a little bit beforehand, meaning you would probably want to set an alarm at 5:55, which is crazy. Probably what I would do is I would deactivate it towards the end of the day. So what I would do is I would have it deactivated from basically 10 p.m. or whenever you stop playing. That'll go for the midnight one, and that'll go for the 6 a.m. one unless you get up before 6 a.m., which you're probably not going to be playing before 6 a.m. unless you're a night owl. Then what happens is after when you wake up, you could activate it when you actively grind, but you have to have an alarm on 11:55 a.m. and deactivate that so that when the balloon comes at noon, it's not going to be guaranteed Giovanni, and then after that, which is going to be basically as soon as that's done, you can reactivate it. You can then use this to get more rocket grunts and have your 5:55 p.m. alarm so that you then deactivate it, and then you get the grunt balloon or the rocket leader balloon externally of Giovanni, and then you can reactivate it and play for the rest of the day before you turn it off at night. So that's one way to run into more Team Rocket grunts, which will then give you more mysterious components, which will lead you to rocket leaders faster by using the Super Rocket Radar that's stacked to your advantage. So I want to point out that I have mine unequipped right now. I don't do that because honestly I would definitely forget to deactivate it, and I don't really want to have alarms going. But if I go in here and I go to the field notes, which is going to be the Rocket Leader quest line, you are going to see that I have 3 of 6 done, meaning I have not got to the Giovanni. I'm actually holding this right now until I hatch all of my 12-kilometer eggs, so that when I do hatch these, I will be able to then, number one, have a mysterious component, which I'm working on saving up for right now. But then also what I'm gonna do is I will have another Rocket Radar right here, so when I have one, I can then claim this one, I can hatch all my eggs, and then I can get guaranteed 2 12-kilometer eggs in the first stack of eggs. So that's kind of how I think about the game when I am playing it. It wouldn't make sense for me to get right now because I don't have another Rocket Radar, and it's gonna block me from getting mysterious components because we cannot stack them up. So then once I do complete this quest line, I will have a grand total of 4 Super Rocket Radars, meaning I could then activate it, and if I activate it again, what is gonna come from Giovanni? A Shadow Zapdos. Whatever the active Shadow Legendary is, when you have multiple of them, you can activate it and you can catch more than one of that specific Shadow Legendary. However, you guys see me put out videos quite frequently. Do you catch this Shadow Legendary? Is this new Shadow Legendary good? I did one on Latios, I did one on Latias, I did one on Zapdos, Articuno, Moltres. Do you guys want to see all these Shadow Legendary breakdowns? Check them out up here. But the one Pokemon that I am saving it for, and it could be even a future one that's not out yet, is going to be Mewtwo. Mewtwo has already been out. At some point, I believe Giovanni will come back with Shadow Legendaries, and when he does so, I plan to catch multiple Shadow Mewtwo's because of how strong that specific Pokemon is. Or the other option is at some point they could come out with a Shadow Groudon, a Shadow Kyogre, or a Shadow Rayquaza, and now I have 4 of them saved up to have the option to be able to catch more Shadow Legendaries, as opposed to being forced into this cycle of going here. So what would that mean for you right now if you have 0 Super Rocket Radars stacked up? What it would mean is that you have to come to terms that you're not going to catch a Shadow Latios. Why would you not want to catch a Shadow Latios? Well, if we think about it, Shadow Latios is a Psychic and a Dragon type Pokemon. So as a Psychic Pokemon, a regular Mewtwo is stronger than a Shadow Latios. Shadow Latios is going to cost you 630,000-ish Stardust to power up and 360 XL Candy. So it is a premium when a regular Mewtwo will cost you probably around 500,000 Stardust if you max it from level 20 and 296 XL Candy, which if we take it into context, 360 XL Candy is you basically paying to max out that Pokemon, and you're paying an additional 64 XL Candy on top of this premium, so you want to make sure that the Shadow is going to be worth it. So, as a Dragon attacker, yes, it is going to be stronger than Rayquaza as of right now, but Mega Rayquaza does come out, and we also have Shadow Bagon, and we have Shadow Dragonite, and then we're going to have other Megas come out, and potentially a Shadow Rayquaza at some point, which is stronger than the Shadow Latios. So, although it is stronger than the Rayquaza, it is not stronger than other more easily obtained Shadow non-legendary Pokemon such as Dratini to Dragonite and Salamence from Bagon. So why would you spend this premium on legendary XL Candy when you have to pay for it? Or you can just grind when events come out and catch Bagons, Dratinis, trade for those, and then you get the free max out on the XL Candy as opposed to paying at least $50 to max out that specific legendary. So this is the space for you. If you are a collector in Pokemon, and you must have all of the shadows that come out, you want to have one of each. Honestly guys, I would challenge you on that, because for me, I play as a very functional standpoint. I want to have functional, strong Pokemon. With functional, strong Pokemon, you are going to have to overlook some of the non-functional, non-strong Pokemon. If that is not your end goal, then maybe this video is totally not for you, and that is perfectly okay. But the other thing I'm going to challenge you on is, at some point, what are you going to do with this Pokemon? This is one of my transfer Pokemon guides when we talk about, are you just emotionally holding onto a Pokemon? Are you just not wanting to transfer it for a specific reason? Or are you ever going to power this Pokemon up? So if you're answering, I'm not going to power this Pokemon up, I just want to have it, what is it actually doing for your bag than taking up space just to say that you have one, and you can't even trade these Shadow Legendaries? So now let's get down to the meat and potatoes of the video of how do you stock up on the radars. So this can only be done on the Super Rocket Radars. So what you're going to do is you're going to complete this quest line for Shadow Latios, but you are not going to beat Giovanni in the quest line. You are going to find the Rocket Boss. You are going to encounter the Rocket Boss. You're going to battle the Rocket Boss, but you're not going to beat the Rocket Boss, which then means as soon as you beat that Rocket Boss, your radar is gone. So by not beating it, that means that you are holding that quest line. However, that quest line is indefinite. It does not expire, but the point of this is that you are not going to then claim this quest line, because when the next Shadow Legendary is released, let's say it's going to be Mewtwo. Let's say Mewtwo is the next Shadow Legendary. As soon as that time zone hits, remember, when the Rocket Bosses change for the new Shadow Legendary, it's like at 1 p.m. Pacific time, and every other where around the globe has to line up with that. So at that 1 p.m. Pacific time, when it changes over into Shadow Mewtwo, is all you have to do is activate that Super Rocket Radar from your item bag. As soon as you equip it, you can then go battle Giovanni from a balloon, and it will not be Shadow Latios anymore, it will be Shadow Mewtwo. As soon as that time changes into the new Shadow Legendary. And then you're gonna get the chance to beat this quest line, and then the next quest line will pop up that's gonna be active for the current people. That means you're gonna have the ability to blow through that quest line and get your next Rocket Radar and then use it for that Pokemon. But here's the catch. If the next legendary is a Shadow one that I suggest you don't catch. Let's just say maybe it's, I don't know, Shadow Regirock. And we'll break down the attackers as always. And let's say Shadow Regirock was not as strong as the regular Regirock and it didn't go up in value. Or maybe they recycle it and it's Shadow Articuno, which we do know is not the most effective Pokemon. What you are gonna have to do at that point is catch the next Shadow Legendary Pokemon so that you do not waste a Super Rocket Radar. So as soon as the next Shadow Legendary is announced, let's say that it goes back to Articuno Shadow, I would suggest catching the Shadow Latios over the Shadow Articuno. And how do you know which one is going to be best and which one to catch? Obviously, I will inform you of that because we have about a week in leeway before that happens. But the reason why you have to then catch the next one is because this quest line is going to be locked at that point until you beat through Giovanni, catch the Shadow Legendary, and then the next quest line will be unlocked. And let's say that you just save this quest line and we go past the entire next time that's Shadow Articuno. This is just hypothesis that that's the next Shadow. And then you go, let's say the next one is Shadow Moltres, you don't have one, and that's a pretty good Shadow. You then go through that quest line, it will skip that entire quest line and it will go to the next quest line, and you will lose out on a Super Rocket Radar, so you might as well get one. So as of right now, if you have 0 Super Rocket Radar stacked up, the most you can have is 1 saved up, which will then, once the next quest line comes out, give you a grand total of 2, but you cannot stack to a 3rd because of how the game is set up, that you have to go through quest lines to get those Super Rocket Radars in Pokemon Go. So that's gonna do it, guys. Let me know in the comments below if this is something that you do or are going to do now that I have explained it. Hopefully this makes total sense. If you have any comments or questions, please do drop them in the comments below and somebody will answer them or I will answer them. I appreciate you guys being here as always. To all my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes their support, subscribe to your Amazon page to X level. I'm gonna see you guys out on the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.